guys, BBI here. I want to stop and say thanks for tuning in and checking out whatever the video is about that's about ready to come up next. If you could take a minute and hit subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoy what you've seen here, make sure to hit the like button. We'd greatly appreciate your support. Anyhow, guys, all that aside, let's get on with the show. Well, it's back. You guys might remember this amplifier from a couple years back. It was brought here a long time ago by Dunk, and at that time it had a couple pop transistors in it, and at the time the Toshibas weren't $105 a piece. So I went in there and I had a couple used transistors, and I cut them a screaming good deal on the two used transistors we put in there. Well, let's come back, and we wanted to know why. So I get the transistors pulled out, and I go in here and I look around, and then okay. So the first thing I figured out was our output tuning capacitor, which is back here, had gone fluff. Okay, this thing had only 60 puff of capacitance, and that would cause the transistors to go. So I changed out this capacitor, put another 120 in its spot, and I changed out the two transistors, put HGs in their spot, and I go and I run it, and it was only making like 150 watts of power, and the input reflect was through the roof. I'm like, whoa, okay, well, we still got some other problems. So then I come farther back in the food chain, and I come to the swamping capacitor across the output transformer, and let's see, which one of these? This one here, this capacitor right here, is supposed to be 1,000 puff cap right here, and this capacitor right here had opened up, and now it reads like 210 puff. So I replaced this with a 1,000 puff capacitor. I double up on the kVA, so now this is a 500 volt, and this is like a 250 volt capacitor. Double up on the kVA rating, so it's now 0.5 kVA on the voltage rating. Little tiny ball of solder shmoo. And go and run it again. Well, now the output power's come up to about 225 watts, and the input is still through the roof. And I'm like, wow, how's that even possible? Because the input is hidden behind this resistor and this resistor. So I thought, well, we'll come farther back the food chain. Well, I go and I check, and the two 330 capacitors that were down on the board, right here and right here, had also devaluated because it's gotten so hot at some point or another, and they were down in the like 110 puff range. So I put two new 330s in there. Then the input fell down and the output power came up. Now it came up to about 275 watts. I'm like, all right. So then we went and we found that the input capacitor here, this guy right here, had also lost its value. So I went ahead and I put another, I think it's 82 puff that goes in here. Now, all that being said, we don't know what this is. We don't know if this started out life as a Texas Star 250. I'm assuming 250 because we got a little blanch of color over here. But all the parts that make a difference between the 250 and the 350 are the transistors, these capacitors, this capacitor, and that capacitor. Well, we've all changed them out, so now it's going to run like a Texas Star 350. So, with the RCI 2950 hitting this thing, Mr. Slam Dunk, we're going to go over here. We're going to look at the slugs. We're using a 1,000 watt slug in peak, 1,000 in average, 5 watt slug in reverse back in the bird, 10,000 watt dummy load, 5 watt slug in between the RCI 2950 and the Texas Star 350, quote unquote. So let me show you drive first off. So I'm putting a whole whopping 20 watts of drive into it. About 275, almost 300 watts. Here's our input. It's incredibly low. Incredibly low. Now, what I have done is I added a secondary pad to the inside of this thing. Pull this out of line. Let's go ahead and hook up our striker here. Now we're going to hit it with a striker. Hello. 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 So you've got yourself the mother of all Texas stars. 300 watts with 20 watts worth of drive, 30 watts worth of drive, and almost 400 watts with a striker hitting it. And you'll never be able to overrun it because I added one resistor right here. Now, let's go back over here. And the only thing that we didn't do is replace all the lights in the front of this thing. Now, I just talked to you on the phone. I said, do you want to do that? And you're like, nah, I don't care anything about any of that shit. It's like, okay. So let's turn the radio volume up. Low, medium, and sideband delay, all still fully functional. So the long of the story of it is, slam dunk. The little 2-pill is good to go. Run it on down the road. We're going to have fun. I'm going to throw it on the Rodney Express, and it's going to head your direction here in the next couple days. The other thing we figured out is this resistor here has gone completely open. And so I replaced it, and it's right here. It's all been done. So that, and I changed out the 10 ohm Tellem. For some reason there was 2 of these tied together. I don't know what that was all about, but changed out the 10 ohm resistors, put 2 new transistors in it, and found all these different little bad capacitors. So Dunk, you're back up and running, buddy. I think it's going to last you a long time. You put a little bit of a fan on it to move a little bit of air across it, and I think you'll be perfectly good to go. So on that note, gentlemen, my name is BBI. Without a shadow of a doubt, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. Come check us out, www.bbiamps.com. Come find me on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, and right here on the good old YouTube Gargler. I appreciate everybody's support, and I appreciate all the projects I got going on. Now, guys, I got to remind you all that I'm still not shipping anything out of here. I'm trying to let the Christmas surge that hits the brown shitbox kickers and the Fed Flux carrier companies and the United States Postal Services, trying to let that get out of the way. So everything that's leaving here right now is either going to be in wood crates or is going to be hand delivered, and that's the things I'm working on right here, right now, right this second. I've got other little couple repairs that I need to get banged out, and then we're going to start on a mega repair that I'm doing for I think 300. I think we're going to build him a 24 pill. Out of a 24 pill he's already got, we're going to recabinet it and remodernize it and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I've got a Joe built 16 pill, I think, or 20 pill or something that I'm doing for a guy. I'm going to take it out of this old raggedy cabinet where I think we're going to put it in a new cabinet. Or no, I got to strip it out of its old cabinet, clean it up, repaint the cabinet, rebend everything back the way so it's straight, make it all look pretty. And those are the major ones that we're going to go work on next. So on that note, guys, I'm out of here. I got other stuff I got to go work on. Slam Dunk, I appreciate you, buddy. We'll get this thing sent off to you right away. Gentlemen, for your biggest mud duck buddy in Idaho, I'll see ya. Bye. I just wanted to showcase this. I didn't show this very clearly in the last little segment. So 955 on 14 volts. 80 watts of drive. Go ahead and we'll turn on the Slam Dunk 2-pill here. Edging up towards 500 watts, or 400 watts, pardon me. Stupid clean. So, long and the short is 20 watt radio, 320 watt box. 100 watt radio, almost 400 watt box. It's about as good as we're going to get out of a little old Texas Star, I think. So, just wanted to cover that, make that a little bit clearer. All right, guys, I got to go on to another project. I'll see you. Bye-bye.